Hi, welcome to Matt About Outdoors. I've got another product for you today. Been promising myself one for a little while. You'll know I'm a big fan of the old slip joint knives, the big ones like the Lansky World Legal. I've got the Black Fox Nidhugg, which I really like. I think I prefer it over the Lansky. And today I've got for you the Boker Plus Worldwide as a little treat for me on payday. Lovely box, presentation box. Make a fantastic gift someday. You get a bit of foam in there just to keep things from rattling about. Your warranty card. I don't think I've ever filled one of those in. Some silica gel. And it's stuffed into its little foam box is the knife. It's a weighty old thing. If you're used to the Lansky World Legal or the Nidhugg, then you'll be quite comfortable with this. It's UK legal because the cutting edge is under 3 inches long. You've got a 90-degree stop and quite a positive lock-up on the slip joint. I say it's about on par with the Lansky World Legal. It is possible you could snap it shut at 90 degrees if you wanted to. With that cutting edge, when it's in a 90-degree position, it's about there, and that's just in the way of my finger, so it's going to give me a nasty cut, so don't try and shut it one-handed. Very positive. So it's Os-8 steel. The designer is Chad Las Banos instead of the usual Michael Williamson Tactical. It's got a strange sort of recurve on the grind, which I don't mind, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a bit of a pain to sharpen evenly. It's a fairly old thick spine. It is, let's see, probably get it used with a fire still. You do it closed, obviously. Just close her up and see if it'll strike. Sharp there. Yeah, really well. And that's on the jimping on the back of the blade. That sort of digs into this fire still quite well. Fine, no issues with that. It has put a slight burr on the edge, ever so slight burr. But you can strike a fire still. Everyone seems to think you can only do it with carbon steels.
Oh, what a lie!
This is Os-8, which is a stainless steel, but I've just proved there you can use that instead of your normal fire steel striker. Is it sharp? Most definitely it's sharp. Could you batten with it? Yes. Would I? No. Slip joint? Nah. Fixed blade every time for me if I'm going to batten things. Or if you wanted to, this does have the 90-degree stop. So you could hold the knife in a pinch grip, keep your fingers out of the way of that cutting edge, and do some very light battening through some smaller twigs, sort of 2 inches long at the very most. Treat it as it is. It's a slip joint knife. It's not designed to be beaten on. What it is a big old heavy lump. You do get a pocket clip. I'm not personally a fan of pocket clips. I don't use them. I'm more of a stick a lanyard through the back of it and go find it deep down in my pocket. I don't like pocket clips on show because people that are not used to people carrying knives, legal or not, I think if I pulled this out in public, people would ask questions straight away, and I think the police would most definitely confiscate this as well. Regardless of whether it's UK legal or not, I think it would be confiscated. I'm just about comfortable carrying a Victorinox. I've normally got a small Victorinox mini champ on my keys that goes absolutely everywhere. Nobody bats an eyelid when that comes out because the blade is, what, an inch long, and it's got scissors and screwdrivers and all that kind of stuff. If you pulled one of these out in the pub, nah, not a chance. I just wouldn't do it. You're asking for trouble. You're asking to be arrested. Ultimately, it's down to the courts to decide whether you have justified a reason for carrying it, but I think in the pubs, certainly not. There's no justification whatsoever. Out in a woodland setting, absolutely, because you're going to be cutting wood, you're going to be opening packages, general camp duties. Let's see if we can find a small bit of wood. Did have a bit on the floor and I've dropped. This is just some dead standing wood. This will be no problem at all, but just to give you a rough idea of how keen the edge is on this blade. It's going through that, no problem at all. So it's definitely satisfactorily sharp out of the box. I think at the very most I might just strop it on the belt just to really finish that edge off. I do tend to strop most of my blades. It's a really nice grip in the hand. It's a really great big meaty chunk of a handle. So if you've got big hands like me, it's fantastic for getting some real leverage behind your cuts. I've not got a lot of experience with OS 8 steel, but as far as I can tell, it's a stainless similar to 440C. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's quite similar to a 440C steel. Fantastic. So I got this in the UK for about £30. My normal site, Henny Haynes, had sold out, so I had to go to the dark side and order from a different website. This is one of the big three. Again, you've got the Lansky World Legal, the Nidhug, and then you've got the Boker Plus World Legal, which I've got to say I'm quite happy with. One to consider: the fit and finish is fairly good. Everything's reasonably well finished off. Torque screws. Is that torque screws? Yeah, torque screws to take the knife apart if you want to and clean it out. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this recurved blade. I do prefer the one on the Nidhug, just the long, straight, almost sheep's foot type blade. It's going to be, for me, easier to sharpen. This isn't stonewashed like the other two, so as far as corrosion resistance, I don't know. I'm going to look after it. I'm going to clean it after I'm done with it. It's not going to get thrown into a toolbox. They put a nail nick on the blade. Why, I don't know. We'll need some adamantium claws to get it out. Yeah, I've got strong fingernails, and that, if you're doing that repeatedly, that's just going to snap your thumbnail off. So it's a pinch grip to pull her out. And then close, hand on the top, out of the way. I'm going to say it's plastic. It might be G10, I don't know. At this price point for £30 it doesn't really matter, does it? It is lined. There's some skeletonized liners in there. They've been drilled to reduce the weight and just add a bit of rigidity to the overall package. No dramas. Food for thought: if you fancy something a little bit stronger than your average Victorinox and you're not overly worried about carrying it in public, or you want to be brave and possibly foolish, this is definitely one to consider for a tough all-round use, legal to carry, at the user's discretion knife. So I hope you found the little video useful, and I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye for now.